What's up, guys? So in the last video I mentioned in our Singapore local tournaments we use a tennis rating called WTN, World Tennis Number. It's not as popular as NTRP, UTR. No one knows what that means. So if I tell people I have a WTN of 27, they're probably gonna be like, okay, are you referring to the number of double faults you have in each match? Anyway, WTN is the only computer rating you can get in Singapore if you play enough local official tournaments. Naturally, I decided to nerd out on this new tennis rating because I, among many other amateur tennis players, am desperate to put a number on my level so I can size people up, theorycraft special tactics to play an upset, or just get nauseous going into a match where you're supposed to win. It's more fun this way. It's more fun to have an imaginary number floating on top of our head when we're playing tennis. So at first, I was trying to figure out if there is a fixed rate of exchange between WTN or NTRP or UTR. There is none. There's a couple of charts floating around on the internet converting NTRP and UTR, but it seems like there's no consensus on that. There are work online trying to map WTN to NTRP, but from the looks of it, it's very different from what I see in tournaments. For example, my opponent here, Oliver, he has a WTN of 29.5, almost 30. Based off this chart, he is an NTRP 2.5 or 3.0 player. That's just way too far off. In my experience, I got a WTN number of 27.4, but it's not high confidence level. Anyone with a WTN above 30 beats me pretty comfortably. In casual play, I just tell people I'm an NTRP 4.0 player. I think that's within the range of local consensus. It is a self-rating, however, so you have to factor in the possibility that I am delusional. It's like that meme, you ask a man what kind of animal he can take in a fight. And for me, I think I can take my cat. We've done it. I can subdue him. The cat is around 6 kilo. I know for sure I can take the cat. But anything with a body weight above that, I'm not so sure. It's not tested that I can beat, say, like a Shiba Inu or a Husky, like a common pig, domesticated pig, a boar, no chance. Any predator that's half of my body weight, I don't think I have a chance. Just to give you an idea of my confidence level. So for tennis, I rate myself 4.0 NTRP, and given that I could be delusional, I like to think that's not too far off if I have to play actual USTA league matches within plus minus 0.5 range of 4.0 NTRP level. By the way, for anyone who's doing self-rating out there, if you're doing NTRP rating, 3.5 NTRP level means that you're anywhere from 3.001 to 3.5, and a 4.0 level player is anyone who's 3.501 to 4.0. So like on Rovo app or other stuff, if you rate yourself a 3.6, that actually means you consider yourself as a weak 4.0 player. The NTRP number is meant as a cap, but not average. Anyway, I digress and urge you not to inflate your Rovo rating. Basically, my understanding is that there's no fixed rate of exchange between all these tennis rating, the NTRP, WTN, UTR, and apparently there's a French tennis rating. But for just providing anecdotal data points, for this video, I am including highlights from 3 matches. The first is my STA tournament opponent, Oliver, who has a verified WTN of 29.5. He beat me 6-1, 6-1 pretty comfortably. And the second one, I'm playing with Sam, who has a WTN of 22 and is a professional coach certified by the Lawn Tennis Association. I get the feeling he's not too serious about the match, rocking the Lando hat, playing serve and volley, kind of styling on me, while giving me a crash course on tennis history, showing me how it's done in the 80s before I was born. It's really hard to gauge the opponent's level when they're only playing serve and volley with you, because the coach is not old. I think he's around my age. So it's safe to assume his baseline games are even stronger. And because he's a coach, you know, he's not really going for everything 100%, because just imagine getting minor injury playing people like me and not be able to coach for the next couple of days. Wouldn't be a rational thing to do, would it? So based on my very limited experience playing people with WTN rating 25 to 20 is not even close, and maybe 25 to 30 people can beat me pretty consistently, but maybe if I play well I can make it close. To be fair, I think the teenager, he plays in a way that's not flashy or impressive. Like my friend Nat and I, we both played him, and he beat us 6-1, 6-1, and 4-0, 4-2. After the match, we both thought, oh, I could probably play better and make it closer. And I also sent the video to my coach, and he wrote this whole paragraph about how I'm just kind of playing bad instead of getting absolutely dominated like I am with the coach. However, I think this says more about the perception of skill differences than the actual difference. What we usually think about good tennis play, especially when watching videos, is big and beautiful strokes and shot making from unlikely situations. But a less visible part of points play is about making the opponent uncomfortable and giving out weak replies. For example, deep and high balls, awkward spin, and just forcing the opponent to hit one more shot. That's where I think the teenager did super well. He just doesn't really give out easy points and kind of makes me play bad. It's a pretty interesting style actually, in the sense that he slices and plays a lot of high ball and casual defensive shots. It's funny because that's exactly what people tell me to do if I'm playing a teenager. People always tell me, if you're playing a little kid, you should just moonball and slice them. I was never too convinced with that idea, because if you watch junior tournaments, especially very young kids, it's a moonball fiesta. Everyone decent enough to emerge from those pools of players will have already solved the moonball. And slice maybe as a change-up, but it's not something you can rely on most of the time, I feel like. So it was pretty funny in the sense that before I turned into a slice uncle, which is a term coined by Justin on the screen, by the way. Before I turned into a slice uncle or just an ordinary uncle, I ran into a slice teenager and he gave me a lot of trouble. Anyway, the third WTN data point is Justin on the screen here. I think he got a WTN of 26. If we play a best out of 3 match, he won most of the time. So that about checks out. A WTN 26 something guy beats a WTN 27 something guy. Everything in its right place. Anyway, this is actually some highlights from a pretty intense match. We split set and played to the match tiebreak, and lots of long rallies, pretty exciting points. I'll shut up now and leave you to it. Hope you enjoy, and till next time.
That's it.